Hi dear children, a beautiful morning to you all. Hope you are all safe and fine at home, and we'll continue with the lesson. We'll continue with the lesson. I'm going to read the next paragraph for you.
Sixth paragraph. It's intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. It's not just watching the lips. It's the whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, she says. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. Here there are a few new words. The first one is intriguing. The meaning is fascinating and curious. And the next one is flawlessly. It means without a fault or mistake. And the third word here is lilt. That means a way of speaking.
Now here in this paragraph, the narrator Deborah Chole says that it was really curious to listen to Evelyn, who was using the language so effortlessly. Why she was able to use the language effortlessly? Because she was able to hear till the age of 8 very clearly, and she was able to hear partially till the age of 11. That was the reason why she was able to use the language so effortlessly. In that 2 hours discussion, she was not even missing a single word, which means she was able to do everything very clearly in that 2 hours discussion. She was not having any confusion while using the language. And then she said, men who are having the bushy beard, the face which is covered with the beard and mustache, those people are making confusion to her. Why it makes like that? Because Evelyn is not able to hear what people are telling. So what she is using is, she is using the whole face expression and the movement of the lips. Both she is using the eyes, the movement of the lips, and the total facial expression. Everything is being carried by Evelyn to understand what people are saying to her. So when people who are having beard and mustache, when they are speaking something, she will not be able to identify the correct facial expression and the lip movement exactly. That was making really confusions for her. Rest, everything was fine for her, and even when she was telling that also, she was having a slight smile on her face. She was not too much worried about the world. And while she was speaking also, she was flawless. What is flawlessly? What is the meaning of flawlessly? Flawlessly means without any stuck or pause or something like that. It was simply moving like that. Without any mistake or something like that, it was moving simply. But she was having a tilt of Scottish. She was having an influence of Scottish language while she was using English also. That will be there now. It's her mother tongue, and the influence of Scottish language will be there. It's quite obvious. And she herself agrees that she can speak it very well with all the sounds correctly using them, because she was able to hear it very clearly when she was a child, at least at the age of 8 or 10. So what happens is, she is able to understand what people says, and at the same time she is able to produce the answers correctly with the correct sounds. That she agrees that this is only because of this reason that she is able to answer them correctly without any mistakes. But one thing is really amazing, without hearing, how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese, which means she has learned French and the basics of Japanese after getting impaired, after losing her hearing ability. How she managed it is the problem of the narrator. It's really surprising to the narrator. Let's go to the next paragraph. I'm going to read it. If you have any doubts in between, you can come to me during the interaction session. You can ask all those doubts during that time. We'll have a discussion and I'll help you to clear all those doubts. Now let's go to the next paragraph.
As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonance flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. And the new words here are tingles. It means causes a slight prickling of stinging sensation. It is a feeling actually like a small prickling pain or something like that. And resonance is it means echoes of sound, echoing of some sounds. That is the meaning of the word resonance.
Now Evelyn says that she is able to feel the different sounds of the musical instruments through her different parts of body. The skin is sensing the music, and at the same time the skin in her cheeks are sensing, and even her hair. She says that even through her hair she is able to sense the music. That's really wonderful. How can she feel means hair is not a live one, no? It's a dead one. We cannot feel. If we cut also, we will not feel the pain. So this part is dead. But how she was feeling it, we have to just imagine only, right? But she was able to feel it throughout her body, and she was able to sense them through different parts of her body. That's what she says it very clearly here. And when she plays the xylophone, automatically while she is playing the musical instrument, how she finds the music feeling on her. The music comes from the xylophone through the stick to her fingertips. She feels it through the fingertips while she is playing the xylophone. That's what happens while she is doing it with the xylophone. And each and every instrument she will have a different technique of understanding it and using it, sensing the music. All those things will be entirely different for each and every instrument. And while she was hearing the drums, she can have the resonance. Resonance means the echo sound into the different parts of her body, and that echo she is taking as the rhythm, the music of the drums. It's really fantastic, right? It's really fantastic to have such a feeling from drums, getting the echoes. It's really fabulous and wonderful. Let's see how she's moving ahead. And the most important thing she is doing is, before starting the musical performance, she'll remove her shoes and will enter the platform and enter the wooden platform barefooted, without wearing anything on her feet. There will not be any chappals, not even the socks on her feet. It will be barefooted to make sure that she is able to get the music sensed through the wooden platform to her feet correctly. Now we will go for the next paragraph. We are going for the third last paragraph, the 8th paragraph. I'm going to read it. Listen to me.
Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audience. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award, says master percussionist James Blades. God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels, for more deeply than any of us. That's why she expresses music so beautifully. Now here in this paragraph, the last few sentences, you will be familiar with them because we have seen the same sentences as a quote in the beginning of the sentence. And these words are said by famous percussionist James Blatz about another famous percussionist, Evelyn Glennie.
It's not really surprising that Evelyn was able to delight her audience just because of her hard work, her efforts she is putting for this one, and all those things are making her to delight the audience, to make the audience enjoy in the world of music. She is awarded as the best soloist by a famous company, and the name of the company is the Royal Philharmonic Society. Has awarded her with the position of the great solo performer in the world. That means she was being awarded such a great position, and even without hearing you cannot imagine how it happens.
God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more beautifully than any of us. That's why she expresses music so beautifully.
Now here comes the first quoting which was there as the introduction part in the lesson. Here you have seen a quote, and the same quote is coming in the 8th paragraph of the lesson. Let's see who says it and why he was telling like that. This is being said by a great percussionist, Mr. James Blatz, and what he says is that God might have taken the hearing ability of the little girl, but at the same time He has given such extraordinary abilities, powers to the little girl that was excellently used by her. That was really performed by her in a different way, in a fantastic way. And he adds, what we are hearing, she is feeling with different parts of her body. That is the one and only reason why she is able to express music such a beautiful way. He says it very beautifully, and we'll go for the next paragraph now. Who says these words? Mr. famous percussionist James Blatz, right? A famous percussionist James Blatz words are these, and here we'll go for the next paragraph.
Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. I've just got to work, often harder than classical musicians, but the rewards are enormous. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. She also gives high priority to classes for young musicians. Anne Rachlin of Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says, she's a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go.
Evelyn says herself that she is such a workaholic person. She says that everything which comes to her, it's just because of her hard work only. She agrees with that fact. She says, I'm just going to work only. I have no other duties. I am not thinking about any other things in the world. I'm just doing my work and working again to make my performance the best and the perfect one. That is the only reason why she is getting such wonderful result in her life also. And this makes a lot of rewards in her life also. And apart from her normal concerts, she is giving enough and more time to spend her life on other services also. For example, for the poor people, for the visually impaired people, for the disabled people, all those people, she is giving performance and showing herself as a model. And other people feel that if she can do it, then I can also do it. Because she is such a person who cannot even hear a single sound. A slight sound also she cannot hear. In that sense, when she is able to perform such wonderfully and to reach on the highest tops of the world of music, automatically other people also are getting motivated and they feel that they are also able to conquer the world in their own way. That's a great motivation for her. And we'll go for the last paragraph now.
10th paragraph. Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions.
Evelyn has already accomplished, means acquired, gained a lot of awards and other things, but they are all higher than what a normal person in her age could achieve. So we can understand how hard she was working, how long she was trying, her efforts, we can imagine that now. And she's made percussions to the front of the stage. Percussion and orchestra, her percussions, the stage performance, everything has made the orchestra into the front of the stage. Till that time the orchestra was there behind the stage only, nobody was noticing what they were doing, only the sound was heard by the people while the performance was going on. But her efforts made orchestra into the front row of the stage. And she was giving inspiration to a lot of people around her, those people who were handicapped, who were having many disabilities, who were feeling that they were nothing in the world. Those people felt really motivated by listening to her, by seeing her, by talking to her, and they also feel that if she can do it, then automatically they also can do it. That's all about the lesson. Hope you understood it very well. If you have any doubts, you can talk to me during the interaction time. And that was all about the second lesson, first part, Evelyn Glennie's lesson to music without hearing it. Now we'll go for the second part. It is the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Hope you know what is a Shehnai, and if you don't know, I'm sharing the picture of a Shehnai here. Bismillah Khan was a famous musician who was famous with the name Shehnai. Please check the spelling of Shehnai also and the name Bismillah Khan also. Those two names are important, and we'll go for the lesson now. We'll continue with the class. Look at the picture here. There are some important personalities whose images are given here. Now we'll go for the first paragraph. I'm going to read it. Listen to me.
Lesson 2, The Sound of Music, Part 2, The Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Paragraph number 1. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pangi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Pangi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pangi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that had longer and broader than the pangi, and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty, and everyone was impressed. The instrument, so different from the pangi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chamber and was played by the Nai barber, the instrument was named the Shehnai.
The first paragraph, it says about the Mughal emperor, the great Mughal emperor Aurangzeb. During his time, this story happens. The beginning of the story happens during the time of the great Mughal emperor Aurangzeb. Let's see what happens there. And during that time, there was a musical instrument named Pangi. And the spelling of the word Pangi is P-U-N-G-I, Pangi. This was a musical instrument during that time, and it was said that the sound of the musical instrument was not at all comfortable for people, that it was being banned in the place. It is very difficult. Now, if a musical instrument is having very difficult sound, so automatically it will be banned. We cannot predict people to adjust with all those bad sounds and all. So it was being banned. And the paragraph continues saying that the musical instrument Pangi, even though it was banned in the royal palace, one barber, you know who's a barber, was having a temptation to change the tendency of ridiculing Pangi, because people were always telling that Pangi is the nickname for people who are making too much sound and all. So that nickname, the barber was feeling it really pathetic, and he was finding it very difficult to adjust with the situation, and he felt that he has to change it. And at that time, what he did was he started working with the Pangi. He started changing the style, the inner part of the Pangi, and started changing the shape of it. All those things, when he did, it was something wonderful. Let's see what happens gradually. After trying a lot of ways, this barber tried another way, which was taking a bigger pipe and making 7 holes on different parts of it and whistling through it by opening and closing all the holes. That was making different sounds. Yeah, we have something similar to it. What is that? It's a flute, the beautiful instrument which gives us such wonderful music. Now, what will happen when the sound becomes beautiful? People will get attracted to it, and people will be accepting the music of this musical instrument than that of Pangi. Once when he was finding it comfortable, and once when he could hear that the music was okay, then what he did was he started playing this musical instrument. He introduced this musical instrument to the court of the Mughal emperor, and people all admired the music coming out of this musical instrument, but they were really confused to get a name for it. What can be the name for it? Now, as it was played in the court of Shah, the king, and it was played by a barber. He was known as. Now, here comes the name of the musical instrument as Shahnai. Right? This is how the term Shahnai derived. And now you hope you understood how Shahnai came into the world of music. Right? Now we'll continue with the lesson. I'm going to read the second paragraph. Listen to me now.
Paragraph number 2. The sound of the Shahnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this reason it's still played in temples and is an indispensable component of North Indian weddings. In the past, the Shahnai was part of the Nawabi, or traditional ensembles of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Till recently, it was used only the temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument into the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan.
Once when time passed, people started admiring this musical instrument more and more. So Shahnai became more popular that almost all the temples in northern sides of India started making this as a formal musical instrument in their temple. And whatever it is, this was an unavoidable part of the most of the North Indian weddings also. Those all things made it really wonderful for the future of this musical instrument Shahnai. All these steps made Shahnai a very popular and at the same time a wonderful musical instrument. And more than that, those beautiful musicians, those wonderful experts They made this musical instrument a great piece in the world of music, and it was being played in many of the courts of the rulers also. And very recently only this musical instrument became very popular among the public, and it was being used for orchestra functions and all those things. Till that time it was being completely used for formal official functions like a temple purpose or a royal court purpose or for weddings. Those purposes only this musical instrument was used. But by the coming of the great musician Bismillah Khan, automatically this musical instrument also get into the reach of the normal man. Let's see how he made it to happen like that. And I'm going to read the third paragraph. Listen to me now.
The third paragraph is about the childhood of Bismillah Khan and how he's turned into the world of music. I'm going to read it. Listen. Third paragraph. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played gilli danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Damran in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Biharji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna.
Here in this paragraph it says that when Bismillah Khan was a child of 5 years, long 80 years ago, and at that time when Bismillah Khan was showing that interest in the world of music, something special happened. And he used to play those musical notes every day by the side of a beautiful pond, and every day he used to visit a temple, the Biharji temple, and he used to visit every day that temple, and he used to sing songs. He used to sing Bhojpuri Chaita in the temple. For that, whatever he was singing, it was really nice that the Maharaja was giving him a gift, and this gift was a big laddu which was weighing like 1.25 kg. Can you imagine a laddu weighing 1.25 kg? Have you ever seen the Tirupati laddu? That is also a very big one, and it's almost bigger than the size of an apple. Tirupati. Let me continue with the paragraph now. And every day for that beautiful, wonderful gift, that sweet laddu, he used to go to the temple and to sing the song. And can you imagine a small child who was waiting to get a laddu as a gift from the Maharaja, reaches the highest peaks of the Indian history and reaches the biggest award in India, the Bharat Ratna? That's what comes as the life of Bismillah Khan. He is the one who was waiting for that laddu when he was 5, and once when he reached in his higher levels, he was the one who won the Bharat Ratna, the highest award India is providing. He was such a marvelous, wonderful, talented person. Here we comes to an end for this class. Hope you're clear about all the points which we have discussed. We will continue the lesson next day. Thank you. Have a nice day.